recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello, trivia nerds. Welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Carmela Smith. Hello, Carmela.
Hello, everyone.
Carmela.
Yes.
Do you have the Rona?
I don't have the Rona.
I think our computer has the Rona.
It has been a pain in the ass this whole time.
This is our 4th attempt to start this show. We're praying we get all the way through it. We have a gaggle of guests.
Yes, we have a great many.
We're going to start. Lauren Carey. Hello, Lauren.
Hi, Jonathan.
Why aren't you here?
And Carmela, because I want to prevent myself from getting the Rona. No,
Yes.
I figured, I like to record in the morning, and this was in the afternoon, and so I said, I'm going to stay home.
I love the smell of recordings in the morning. Kate Hadley is here with us. Hello, Kate.
Hi, Jonathan and Carmela, and everyone else.
Welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here. And last but not least, John Carey is in the house. Hello, John.
No relation.
Whoa! Hello.
Hello. So there is a rumor. There is a rumor that you and Lauren are related in some way, shape, or form. Are you married?
Lies.
No.
Married, your couple?
No.
No.
You sure?
That's a lie.
No?
I am
Yeah.
sure. I would never marry my sister. That would be gross.
The biggest problem with that logic is you said Lauren and married in the same sentence.
Sick burn.
Ooh, okay. No, John, no. So Lauren is your sister.
Yes, that is.
And I've actually been trying to get you on the show for quite a while now. I'm glad you finally accepted my proposal.
I apologize for having been busy with my 1-year-old daughter. You know, she likes to zoom around, and I finally, what with the quarantine going on, I had free time.
I started asking way before you had a daughter.
Dude,
I started
man.
way before you had a daughter.
Life gets in the way, man. I'm sorry.
All right.
But hey,
He's
I'm
busy
here
making
now.
the
That's what
daughter.
matters.
Oh. He was-
I'm here now, though. That's what
That is what matters.
Hey.
We do have one more guest, not a player, but a host. Paul Paquet is with us. Hello, Paul.
Hey, it's Jonathan. How are things?
Man, I'm so glad that you're here.
Thanks.
I've got to be honest, I'm kind of jealous.
How so?
You are stroking a kitty while we're
Yes.
recording here.
He's a fantastically neurotically obsessive kitty named Allie, as an alley cat. And
Paul's cradling him like a baby, and he just stopped petting Allie's tummy, and now Allie's reaching up like, no, keep going, please. All right, so today's show, we have a great one for you, but I don't want to get into that yet. I want to get to know our players first.
Yeah, that's the order the show goes
I know. Listen, everything's discombobulated now. Don't make me put you into quarantine.
I'm already in quarantine.
I'm going to put you in timeout.
Okay.
Lauren, I'm going to treat this like everybody knows who you are, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who you are.
I'm fine.
So, Kate.
I know, I'm beautiful.
Yes, you are.
It's
Yes.
true, though.
Kate, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I am from California, born and raised, although I spent quite a bit of time in Illinois. I am pretty much halfway between Sacramento and Lake Tahoe in the foothills. And I work as a medical coder at our local hospital. So I am essential personnel. I still have a job.
It's an important one.
Yes. Fun thing about me is, I love musical theater.
Ooh.
It's not all that fun, but
What's your favorite musical?
it kind of goes back and forth. I would say probably Company. I like Sondheim a lot,
Yeah.
but it goes back and forth. Avenue Q is another good one. Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. That's a good mix right there. I love it. Well, welcome back to the show. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
All right, John, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Okay, I am from originally Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Now I've moved to, I guess, what you would call a suburb of Wilkes-Barre is Mountaintop, Pennsylvania, which is, as the name would suggest, on top of a mountain. It's in northeastern Pennsylvania, also known as NEPA. And I am a test engineer for a semiconductor company. So my job is essential, and I still have one.
So your job, failing at your job, is why my computer's been crashing.
No,
Because some
I did not.
tester
I work
of
in the
my
automotive
semiconductor. Oh, fine.
Yeah, the stuff I make goes into cars. So if your car died, like if your car wouldn't start, that would be like
That would be you.
on me, maybe, depending on the brand of the car. But unless you're driving like,
I'm driving a Dell.
yeah, well, yeah, no, we don't.
No.
I didn't put anything in the Dell.
All right, and something fun about yourself.
I can see it. Next time Jonathan's car breaks down, he's going to be going, John Carey.
He's gonna say, instead of Con, it's going to be John. Yeah. Oh, going back to what Kate said about Sweeney Todd, my sister and my uncle, he's a barber, and he sometimes performs in the local musical theater, and they recently did a Sweeney Todd thing. So he was like the Sweeney Todd demon barber of Fleet Street, and donated like he not donated, but he let them use his spare barber chair for the show.
I'm telling you, man,
cool.
I don't know if that's good for your business. If you're a barber and then you act on the side as Sweeney Todd,
Well,
probably not
was
a
it
good
for
look.
Sweeney Todd's business? I mean,
It's good for that pie business.
yeah.
All right, very cool. And Mr. Paul Paquet, where are you from, what you do,
Hello.
and something fun about yourself.
I am in Ottawa, Ontario. I run the Ottawa Trivia League and Trivia Hall of Fame. And I'm going mildly stir crazy, but that's okay.
Only mildly.
Yeah, no,
Mildly,
I feel
yes.
ya.
I was saying when we had some technical, in terms of a fun thing about me, I once arranged for, my wife's a big fan of Scott Bakula, and I arranged through his manager to have Scott Bakula send Laura a birthday greeting by video. So that was nice.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Look
It
at
was
Paul
awfully nice.
pulling some strings. I worked through his manager, and I got a star to call my wife.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's some pull right there.
No, not really. I think it was just, I sent a very nice letter to the manager, and so.
Well done. That's that Canadian superpower.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
So I think it's time for a little game we like to call Warm It Up Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
Or in this case, Paul.
Yeah, Paul is going to play the part of Chris today.
Actually, it is Chris, because Chris sent me a Warm It Up Chris. So I'm going to do the one that he sent to me. So this would be, there are 10 doubly landlocked states. And what we want is the shortest route to get from the state to water. And by shortest route, I mean the shortest number of provinces or states you would have to go through to get to water.
So you're going to give us the states, and we have to tell you how to get to water?
Yeah.
Oh,
the fewest number. And if you don't like this, it's all Chris's fault.
No, hey,
Nothing.
this is interesting.
I
Now,
think it's going to be fun, though.
is it just oceans, or do big lakes count?
No, it's either an ocean or a gulf.
Great Lake?
Yeah. No, I don't think a Great Lake.
Okay.
Well,
Because I'm just wondering, like, Michigan is a long way away from an ocean,
I wouldn't call that landlocked.
but it's on the lake. So do lakes count, is my question.
Oh, yeah. Actually, from the look of it, none of these are Great Lakes. So it has to be a bay, a gulf, or the ocean.
A bay, a gulf, or the ocean. Okay. See, that's critical information. All right, Paul, get us started.
Okay, so let's start with Kate. Get us to water from Colorado. There's a couple ways of doing this.
I don't know if this is the shortest way, but I would say Utah, Nevada, California.
There's a shorter way.
I'll
tell you, you're right about California, though.
Arizona, California?
Bingo.
Four Corners.
Yeah.
Lauren, we're going to do Illinois.
Oh, boy.
She grabbed her hair like it was about to fall off. It's like, oh my God, me?
Illinois. Okay.
This is a tough one, I think.
I think it is, because you could go, you've got a bunch of little states that are taking you to the east, right? Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
No. All of these, by the way, seem to be two hops. So either two states or a state and a province. Or
so Canada counts.
Canada definitely counts.
Oh, well then Canada counts? I don't know. Because okay, so Illinois, I don't know, pass.
Okay. Anyone have a thought on this?
Can you go up through the Great Lakes to get straight to Ontario and go?
As a matter of fact, you can.
So is it just Ontario to
the Arctic Ocean?
No, well, to the Atlantic, right?
It's close. We need to go through Michigan first. Michigan has a water
so
border
straight line
that way.
Michigan,
I was going
Ontario.
Yeah. So it'd be Michigan, which has a water border with Ontario, which takes you to James Bay.
There you go.
Yeah. John, we're going to do Indiana.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, first you have to use your bullwhip to hitch a ride on a train. And then off the train... No? You got a great fedora? No? Okay.
I don't. I'm not a fedora man.
Now I'm making Indiana Jones jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
But was that a fedora?
I don't think so.
I didn't think that was a fedora.
I don't think so.
Fedoras have a smaller brim than the Indiana Jones hat. No, okay, so probably Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. No, unless you're doing the same thing as you had to do with dealing with Canada.
This is once again Michigan, Ontario, and Hudson Bay.
Yeah.
And both Illinois and there's a second route for both Illinois and Indiana, which would be Kentucky, then Virginia, which is
yeah,
that's going south. Oh my goodness, I didn't think. I was just trying to draw the straightest line from that east, and I guess I should have gone south. Oh boy.
So we're looking for the number of hops. So number of states. There's always two states or a state and a province.
So long states make a difference here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Kentucky's a weird one because it borders so many other states.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a piece of fried chicken just...
It doesn't have to be a straight line either. Like for that one, it had to go down and then up a little to get out.
Yep.
Okay.
Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Let's do Iowa.
Man, these are all in the same general vicinity, aren't they? So if I'm not crazy, I'm not good with central U.S. geography. Okay.
It's the face in Memel.
Yes, I think Iowa is to the bottom left of Illinois.
I get all those Midwest states all mixed up in my head.
Yeah. So if that's the case, Iowa might be underneath Minnesota. Minnesota could get you to a great... I'm going to say Minnesota, Ontario.
That works.
Yeah!
I'm like, how big is Ontario?
Pretty big.
Enormous, actually. Yeah. I think it's bigger than California. Yeah, so Minnesota, then either Manitoba or Ontario, and that takes you to water.
Where does Manitoba take you to?
It takes you to the Hudson Bay. Manitoba borders Ontario.
The Hudson Bay counts.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's where most of these have
The Hudson Bay is huge.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Carmela, Kansas.
Trying to remember what Kansas looks like.
It's like a square.
They're that band that did the Carry On My Wayward Son. Yeah, it's that one.
Well, there's 5 guys. One of them's a drummer.
One of them played the cowbell. No, that was Blue Oyster Cult. Might be.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Carmela, you need to go south for this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oklahoma, Texas, Gulf of Mexico.
Boom. That is exactly right.
Nice.
Back around the horn again. We're going to do Kate. And this one is, I think, is a tougher one. It's Missouri. There's a route that's south, couple routes south, 3 routes south, actually, it looks like.
Oh, I think I know that one.
Yeah.
And there's 1 route that goes east.
I would say Arkansas, Louisiana.
Yep, that is exactly right.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's right where I would have gone.
Yep. And you could also go Arkansas, probably Mississippi, and then the...
Yep.
Maybe Kentucky and Virginia again?
Yeah, well, what Chris wrote is Arkansas, then Louisiana or Tennessee, then Mississippi, or Oklahoma, then Texas, or Kentucky, then Virginia.
There you go.
So there we go.
Lots of routes. I sure do hope Chris researched this well.
Because that's the
The nice thing about doing somebody else's questions is if there's a problem with it, I can wash my hands. And
I
say,
know, right?
No. But it looks pretty sound, though. Lauren, let us do South Dakota.
Oh, okay. This is going to take me through Canada again, isn't it?
It will.
Oh, no.
Although there is a route west, it looks like.
Oh, South Dakota.
You can do it.
No, but that's still
Oh, wait, no.
South Dakota. I'm just so bad at this. I'm not good at this. South Dakota. Then let's
Yes.
South Dakota, Montana, British Columbia.
I think that works.
I think it works too. It's not what I would have expected her to say, but go for
Montana's
it.
really big.
No, yeah, I just thought she was going to say Washington.
Oh, okay. No, Washington's not bad either.
Yeah, Montana, Washington, a straight shot.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought Idaho kind of has that little...
Oh, no, you're right. I forgot about Idaho.
Yeah.
Ooh, I would have been
it's
wrong.
Not one of the ones that Chris has. So I guess because of Idaho.
Great job with British Columbia.
Woo!
Yeah, but what Chris gave me is Minnesota, then Ontario, or North Dakota, then Manitoba, or Utah, Idaho, then British Columbia. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we're good. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of routes out of South Dakota. Moving to Jonathan, Wisconsin.
Do you mean John?
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't John get a turn?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
What am I,
John,
Wisconsin?
John, you have Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I assume that's going to go through Canada again, and my Canada geography is bad. So
you live closer than we do.
I know, but that doesn't mean that I know it. I'm one of them ignorant Americans.
That's okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Wisconsin.
There is definitely the route is north, and it does.
Yeah, I bet this route has been stated before.
Yeah, probably. What is it? Is it Minnesota? Then whatever is the equivalent of Canada.
Probably Manitoba.
Just out of spite, I'm not going to accept that.
Okay, that's fine.
But it's Minnesota, then a place called Ontario.
Yeah.
James Bay, Manitoba. Jonathan, we're going to do Wyoming.
Wyoming to Minnesota to British Columbia. Not Minnesota, Montana, British Columbia.
That is exactly right. Another route is Idaho, then British Columbia, Washington, or Oregon. And for our last one, for Carmela, Nebraska is triply landlocked. Ooh. So we need 3 hops.
I need 3 hops.
You can do this because you had one of the things it's next to.
Yeah, so Kansas, Oklahoma, then Texas, then Gulf of Mexico?
Boom.
Yes. Bingo.
Yeah. She had the Kansas one earlier. This one's next to it, so it's a given.
Woo!
Some Carmela favoritism.
You picked the order.
All right, that was a creative.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Up, Chris. I liked that.
Thanks, Chris.
Very good.
Thank you, Chris.
Very good. All right, so this is episode number 264.
Yeah.
It's what?
I wanted 5.
Tough. You'll have to come back next week or something.
I'm home.
Yeah, I bet you are.
We all are.
It's sometime in early April right now, I'd imagine, when you guys are listening to this.
Yeah.
I hope everybody is outdoors and not stuck in their house still.
Yeah, we'll see.
Blessings upon you and your family. If you want more Trivial Warfare, remember we do publish 4 times a week. 2 of those are free.
4 times a month.
4 times a month, like I said. Actually, OMG publishes 4 times a week.
Oh my God.
Oh, Trivial Warfare does come out 4 times a month. If you're only getting 2 a month, that's because you're only looking on the free feed. You can get 2 more episodes a month by going to trivialwarfarearmy.com and signing up as a lieutenant or higher to get access to our patron-only feed. So if you want more Trivial Warfare, that is how you do it. And I think today's game is going to be a heck of a good game. It's me and Carmela versus Kate, John, and Lauren. Paul is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
All right. So what we have today is an assortment of questions from the Smarty Pants game I run, which I've verified none of you participate in. So round one.
Shade?
No, not shade. It's just it would if one of you did the Smarty Pants every month, you would have a decided advantage over the other 3.
Yes.
So it's a good thing that you don't participate. Yet.
That's right.
So round 1, number 1, a simple matter of counting. September, October, November, and December get their names because they were the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th months of the Roman calendar, which therefore began in what month?
All right, we're going to lock in.
So sort of related, I saw a funny joke on the internet the other day. It was the Ides of March, and somebody said, why aren't September through October, November, and December the 9th, 10th, or whatever number equivalent months in the calendar? Whoever made that decision should be stabbed, right? So it was Julius Caesar, right? He made up July and August.
No, yeah, I know
right.
that.
But I'm not entirely sure what the question is. So maybe I don't understand it.
So the first month of the Roman calendar.
Yeah, we're just looking for the first month of the Roman calendar. And I guess it's got to be March.
January or March.
It's either January or March.
I would go with March.
That's what I had written down.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards March. Something in my brain says I've heard that before. So, yeah, I'd say March, too.
All right, then let's March 4th and lock it in.
And how about Jonathan and Carmela? What did you guys go with?
So the fact that you said it was a simple matter of counting led us to count backwards, and we went to March.
It is absolutely March. Our first round is a little bit easier, I should say. Number 2, other than that, how was the play? Had he not been killed, who would have had a soul food dinner at the home of a Memphis reverend, then spoken at a rally for striking sanitation workers?
We're locked in.
Okay.
Guys, 100%, it's Martin Luther King Jr.
That's what I have written down, too. So we're going to lock it in with MLK Jr.
All right. Jonathan?
So, yeah, the reason we struggled is that I was giving, credence to your clue in the category. and it's like, okay, I mean, the category name says it's Lincoln. And Carmela's like, yeah, but how did he get to Memphis?
I'm like, is the Ford Theater in Tennessee? Because I don't think it is.
So we ended up backtracking from that and went with MLK Jr.
Yeah, the category name is in poor taste, but it's the joke that someone said to Mary Todd Lincoln, other than that, how was the play?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So sorry about that. Number 3 is wine with a metallic aftertaste. What band lent its name to Highway to Hell Cabernet Sauvignon and Hell's Bells Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc?
We're locked in.
Yeah.
It could have probably been a 3-2-1.
It could have.
It still can be.
We'll do it.
All right, I'll count down. 3, 2, 1.
AC/DC.
So everyone has got everything right so far. An easy round to start with.
At the end of the first round, score is 30-30.
So each
32 turkey.
No, that would be a very dirty score. No, that's 30-30.
Round 2. Number 1. A classic movie question that is actually a food question. In The Godfather, Richard Castellano was improvising when his character suggested leaving the gun but taking what deep-fried pastry tube filled with ricotta cheese.
We can 3-2 the one that too.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Cannoli.
Exactly so.
It's my favorite line in the entire movie.
I was the movie's old enough that people wouldn't remember it, so I'm glad that's not the case.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, connected to the hip bone, kinda. What bone is thought to be all that's left of our vestigial tails? And your answer cannot have the word tail in it.
Yes.
All right, we're locked in.
It's got to be the coccyx, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be the coccyx.
It's got to be the coccyx.
So we're going to lock with coccyx.
Yeah.
We went
Morris
with
is doing different accents for each answer.
We went with that famous Britney Spears song, Coccyx.
You're coccyx, I'm slipping under.
All right. Well, our third one. Sports
Was
facts.
that, you need to say if it was right or wrong.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it's definitely coccyx.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely coccyx. And I'm worrying I may this time have pitched the questions too easy, but we'll see. They do get,
no, we're fine, man. You keep going.
If you heard the last game, you would know what a refreshing aperitif this is.
It was brutal.
Number 3. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, that'll be on the private feed. I'm looking forward to hearing that because I'm a Patreon now.
There you go.
Number 3, sports facts many people know. Trivia aficionados have memorized that the Green Bay Packers won the first Super Bowl, but who won the second Super Bowl?
We're locked in.
I probably could too. It's also the Green Bay Packers. They won the first two.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. The first one was against the Raiders, and the second one was against the Chiefs. Either that or it's the other way around. Yeah, you're right. It's the other way around. Chiefs. Yeah.
And we know this because when we were kids, we had a train that went under the Christmas tree, and it was each car was the Super Bowl winners in order.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, in order. So I had to get a special Eagles car that didn't have any Super Bowls on it, but it was just a little Eagles train car because they hadn't won the Super Bowl yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm an Eagles fan, but I wouldn't have had a car otherwise. So. But hey, they won a couple years ago. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's an adorable story.
Isn't it? That's a cool tradition, too.
And the city somehow survived.
Yeah. Right. I don't know how.
Win or lose, someone's going to riot.
Yeah.
We also said the Green Bay Packers.
That is correct.
Paul Hornung, Jim Taylor, Bart Starr.
Yeah, I don't know all that.
The old days. At the end of round 2, it is 60-60.
Woo!
Woo!
This is a science question.
Science.
Science.
What pseudoplastic condiment exhibits shear thinning, in which viscosity decreases while increasing rate of shear stress, and thus can be considered an example of a thixotropic fluid? Oh boy, you kind of wish I stuck with your
He went from 0 to 60, didn't he?
I got to use the word thus.
You said viscosity increases or decreases with stress?
It exhibits shear thinning, which means that viscosity decreases, but there's an increasing rate of shear stress. And that's what makes it an example of the thixotropic fluid.
All right, we're going to lock in.
My first guess when he said condiment was Cheese Whiz.
I wrote down ketchup.
Ketchup. You see, because I know that Cheese Whiz technically is like one small chemical compound away from being the same material as a garbage bag.
Okay.
So that was my logic behind that.
I have absolutely no clue whatsoever, so...
You know, John, I'll go with you on Cheese Whiz.
I have less thunder than Garth Brooks in the Thunder.
Now, did it roll under pressure, or did it roll when there was a lack of pressure? The thunder.
Oh, man. Jeez, I don't know, man.
We know another love grows cold on a sleepless night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor
And the
guy.
lightning strikes.
I could lock in Cheese Whiz, John, if you want to.
All right. Yeah, let's go with
we
Cheese
good?
Whiz.
Both of you with Cheese Whiz? We're gonna get.
I'm
freaky
good with it.
Yeah, let's try it.
All right, we're getting freaky with the Cheese Whiz.
Ooh.
Locked in with Cheese Whiz.
Okay, Beck.
We named a lot of condiments.
We did not name Cheese Whiz.
No, we never came across.
That's not
Cheese
bad,
Whiz.
though.
No, I like it.
No, you like Cheese Whiz?
I did. I like it as an answer.
I like it on a nice Philly cheesesteak.
No. I don't want anybody putting whiz on my cheesesteak.
That's authentic Philly cheesesteak.
I don't
though.
care. I don't want food called whiz.
Get out of here, man. Whiz
Anyway,
Whiz.
we went with honey.
It is actually ketchup. And this
Oh no!
Damn it,
yes,
Lauren.
I know. It's the explanation for why ketchup pours so slowly and so oddly.
Oh,
yeah, the air. Why
It's just because you have to hit the bottle on the 57.
Oh.
So our first miss.
That's only because we didn't understand half of the
I'm
words
sorry,
in the
Lauren.
question.
Pseudoplastic.
Literally, I didn't think. I literally just wrote down ketchup, and then we, BS'd the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I liked your Cheese Whiz answer. Move
I
on.
let you down.
It's okay. They didn't get it either, so.
I know.
That doesn't mean we're not getting points for it.
There goes the perfect game.
Yeah, it does. Number 2 is movie math.
Oh,
Subtract the speed below which the bus in Speed cannot go from the speed the DeLorean has to go to travel through time in Back to the Future. What number do you get?
We're locked in.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so too. I believe the bus in Speed had to go above 55, and the DeLorean had to go 88, right? And so, just for clarification, Paul, I'm subtracting the number the bus has to go from the DeLorean.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
DeLorean minus bus.
I'm just making sure that I don't go into the whole negatives. Okay, so I think the answer is 33.
Yeah, that's what I get.
33.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Walked in at 33.
Yeah, it's 33.
I have 38. 88 minus 50. But you know what?
It's 50.
Is it 50? We both remembered 55?
But you
We're
know,
getting Sammy Hagar confused.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
55! I thought it was
love Keanu Reeves.
55.
I'm actually just very disappointed in myself.
Is this like a
For not
Mandela
knowing
effect?
that
Like
it's
we all
50.
remembered it was 55 miles an hour?
I got spooked, so I just double checked it, but it is 50.
Okay.
You know what's
All right.
funny is it was so long ago, 50 sounded like it was a high speed.
Yeah, well, it is for a bus, right?
I mean, we both were like, nah, it's 55.
Not just we both, but I was 55, you were 55, you guys were all 55. There was no doubt.
Yeah.
I think if I saw a bus going 55, it would be terrifying.
Oh, you should come to Jacksonville.
Yeah, welcome to the States, dude. The buses in Philly go 55 between one stop and the other in a residential.
You're not wrong.
Number 3 is unusual fashions. Time called Lady Gaga's MTV VMA dress the top fashion statement of 2010. What was it made from? Lauren looks very happy.
We're locked in.
Do we need to be more specific?
I don't think so.
All right.
Probably not.
They're locked in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's me.
It's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Weird Al has that in his Gaga parody. He wears a dress out of meat.
A married dress out of me.
It is a meat dress.
I perform this
Do
way.
we not get to give our answer, Paul?
No, because
sorry.
I figured you had it right.
Sorry.
Paul's just like, yep, you're good. Go for it. Give him the points.
We also said meat.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any chance that Carmela was going to miss this. So.
Oh, I got no credit. At the end of the third round, it is 70-70.
And we do have a midpoint. There are lots of trivia questions based on people mentioned in We Didn't Start the Fire. There are lots of questions based on people mentioned in Madonna's song Vogue. There are 5 people mentioned in both songs. Name them for 4 points each.
I got one. Do you want us to name 5 or 4 out of the 5?
There are 5 and you get 4 points each.
Okay. All right, we're going to lock in.
I could only think of 2 names in We Didn't Start the Fire because every time I hear that song, it's a joke to me to every verse just go Ho Chi Minh, 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 Joe DiMaggio. So, like,
That's one way to sing it. It's the remix.
I'm out.
You did get one, John. Okay,
Ooh.
so one thing that I know I'm good for is I know the whole middle part of Vogue. So would it help if I did that? Because I got 3 from it, right? So
All right.
Madonna's Vogue, the middle part goes Greta Garbo and Monroe, Dietrich and DiMaggio, Marlon Brando, Jimmy Dean on the cover of a magazine, Grace Kelly, Harlow Jean, picture of a beauty queen, Jean Kelly, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, Dance on Air. They had style. They had grace. Rita Hayworth gave good face. Lauren, Catherine, Lana too. Betty Davis, we love you.
Wow, that was
Okay.
awesome.
So, like, DiMaggio is in there. That's great. I love
Yes.
that. That's
And so
absolutely one of them.
And so is Brando.
Okay. Other names that I'm now thinking of from the
James
Billy
Dean.
Joel one. Yeah, James Dean. Doris Day is in there. Sally Ride is in there. JFK, Blown Away. What else do I have to say?
Is Marilyn Monroe in We Didn't Start the Fire?
I think so. If JFK and Joe DiMaggio are in there, I bet you Marilyn Monroe is in there.
I'm sorry, I only really know Vogue, so I'm not very helpful on this one.
Okay. No, that's fine. So I feel like we could safely go. Otherwise, I mean, we got 4. James Dean, Marlon Brando, Joe DiMaggio, and Marilyn Monroe feels like a safe enough guess.
Sure. Okay. Let's lock those in.
You need one more. You're answering
We need
5.
one more?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 5. Ho Chi Minh.
He was known for his voguing.
Yes.
So your 5 are Ho Chi Minh.
Wait.
No, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh,
Okay.
he's repeating their answers back to them.
I know.
Yeah, if I could just get your answers back.
Well, they haven't finalized theirs yet.
Okay.
I don't think it's Garbo. I don't think it's Lauren Bacall.
Who you're named after, right? That was
Yeah.
that part of the song. That's where Mom got the...
No, there was a Lauren Bacall movie marathon.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, and she's tough. Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly. Princess Grace. Peyton Place. What else Grace
What
Kelly.
else do I have to say? Yeah, he just ends that with, okay.
No, Princess Grace, Peyton Place, Trouble in the Suez.
Yes, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Our answers are Marilyn Monroe, Joe DiMaggio, Marlon Brando, James Dean, and Grace Kelly.
All right. Let's see what Jonathan and Carmela came up with.
So I know quite a bit of Vogue, and I lean on Jonathan to help me place them in the Billy Joel song. So we went Marilyn Monroe, Joe DiMaggio, Grace Kelly, which we had to confirm Princess Grace and Grace Kelly were the same person, James Dean, and we ended up going with Ginger Rogers.
So the difference is you have Ginger Rogers, and the team of 3 has Marlon Brando. The team of 3 is correct. It is Marlon.
Yes.
Before we move on, I should say that even though I like this question a lot, I personally loathe the song "We Didn't Start the Fire." So I just put that out there.
We used that as an educational song in high school. We all had to write reports from somebody that happened, and we didn't start the fire.
My wife wrote one about Sputnik because of that song.
Sputnik!
They had to pick one, so she picked Sputnik. Yeah.
So 20 points for Kate, John, and Lauren, and 60 for Jonathan.
At the end of the midpoint, it is 90 to 86. John, Lauren, and Kate have taken a lead.
We will not relinquish it. Keep the foot to the throat.
But will you start any fires?
No.
But we will Vogue.
Yeah. I was impressed, by the way, that you knew all the words by heart. That was super cool.
It's the only song with my name in it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on mine.
Wait a minute. Your middle name's Maria, isn't it?
Anna Maria, yeah.
Maria, I just met a girl named Maria. You've got a song. All right, that is going to bring us to the end of the midpoint, and I want to turn the floor over to Paul because we're about to have a big announcement. So, Paul, take it away.
Yeah, so this is the official world announcement of the nominees for this year's Trivia Hall of Fame. I want to thank the people in the committee who helped us get them. I'll really quickly go over who they are. We have Siddhartha Basu, who you haven't heard of, but who is considered the father of Indian TV quizzing. He took care of the local version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and on and on. We have Sharon Burns and Tom Porter again, people you probably haven't heard of, but they founded British quizzing in the 70s. So if you do any sort of pub quiz or pub trivia, you have Burns and Porter to thank. Pat Gibson, if Kevin Ashman is the Michael Jordan of British trivia, then Pat Gibson would be the LeBron James. He is in that league. We have someone named James Holzhauer. Now, I'm not quite sure who that is, but...
oh, that old hack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's something to do with Jeopardy. I'm not sure what that is. Speaking of pub trivia, we have a team from Ohio that do NTN Buzz Time. They're the dominant team in NTN Buzz Time historically. So it's Kevin Kern is the captain of the team, but it's Kevin Kern et al. Is the official nomination. Finally, a guy named Oz Oliva, who is from WWSP in Stevens Point. They do an annual radio trivia contest there that is so big. Thousands of people descend on this little community in Wisconsin. They even have a parade. It's that big a deal.
I've read about that game before, the radio trivia game. That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's an interesting class this year. And so the way you can vote. You go to triviahalloffame.com. There'll be a little vote button. You have to pick 3 of them, 3 of the 6, and we're going to announce. It's hard to say. Hopefully, Trivia Nationals will happen, and if that does, we'll announce it there. And if not, I'll figure something out.
We sure do hope that we're going to see this announcement in August in Las Vegas at Trivia Nationals.
End of July if it's Trivia Nationals.
That's a good point. At the end of July in Las Vegas at Trivia Nationals, we're all hoping that will happen.
Yes, definitely.
Speaking of which, I always wondered, how did you guys think you were going to get inducted last year, or were you unsure?
I never think about it. I never think I'm going to get anything. So
I'm with Carmela. I'm very much of the mindset of hope for the best and prepare for the worst. So I never assume.
But it was cool.
It was fun. I was glad you guys were there.
Yeah, no, it was good to actually be there for it. So
yeah,
and we immediately went from that to our Jeopardy audition. So we got like a perfect anecdote like right before our audition. She's like, I see here that you were in the Trivia Hall of Fame. When did that happen? I said, well, about an hour ago.
Is anybody else in here in the Hall of Fame?
I'm like that guy right there.
Me and Paul both raise our hands. All right. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for coming on the show to make that announcement, Paul. We are excited for all of the nominees and wish them all the best.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. That's the end of the first half of today's game. I want to let you know that Trivial Warfare is now on TikTok. I'm doing a question of the day out on TikTok. I hope you enjoy that. Each day I ask a new question, and the following day I give the answer and a new question. I'll also be posting videos and other things out there as they strike my fancy. So if you are on TikTok, or even if you're not, be sure you go join up and follow at Trivial Warfare. And since we're talking about social media, if you want more content from us, make sure you're following us on Twitter and on Instagram at Trivial Warfare. And of course, make sure you're part of the Facebook group. You hear us talking about it all the time. That's called the Trivial Warfare Army. Just search for Trivial Warfare Army, and you'll find yourself joined up with 3,000 of your closest friends. All right, we're going to get on with the second half of today's game.
Round 4 begins. Penultimate world conquest. According to the Book of Lists, Genghis Khan built the world's largest empire at 4,860,000 square miles. Who was number 2?
Who does number 2 work for?
So the person who built the second biggest land empire.
We're locked in.
So we're looking for a specific person?
Yeah. Person who conquered the most territory after Genghis Khan.
My guess would be...
After Genghis Khan time-wise or after Genghis Khan size-wise?
Size-wise.
Okay.
My guess would be Alexander the Great, but I don't have a lot of thunder.
So again, less than Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Garth Brooks is the, Mason Dixon of...
Thunder.
of Thunder.
You got a lot of metaphors and analogies in that sentence, my man.
Yeah. Hey.
Garth Brooks is the Thunder Dixon line.
There's your title.
Yeah.
The Thunder Dixon.
When I was contestant on the show, I had a premonition that there would be something that I would be so positive about. I'd be Thor, God of Thunder, and I get it wrong. And that's exactly what happened. And it was about Jimi Hendrix, which I thought I knew backwards and forwards, and I mucked it right up.
I have nothing either. I'm okay with Alexander the Great.
Yeah, let's go with it.
We can lock that in, absolutely.
All right.
So we had a big disagreement over here. I wanted to go with Alexander the Pretty Good, but Carmela was certain that it was Alexander the Great, so that's what we went with.
It is indeed Alex the Wonderful.
Yay! He's aight.
Number 2 is weird stuff that your quizmaster, Paul Paquet, finds amusing but are really, in fact, kind of stupid. Brandon Bird's most famous painting, Killing Machine, depicts what 70s and 80s, 90s sitcom star and ex-Marine wrestling a velociraptor.
All right, we're going to lock in.
All right.
I don't have much. What's throwing me off is the word sitcom. But I wrote down Chuck Norris or Bob Ross. Because I know Bob Ross was a CO in the military. Yeah. And he vowed, like, when he left, to, like, never shout again. And that's why he did the happy little paintings.
He shares my birthday.
Yeah. So I don't really have much behind either of those. Other than, Chuck Norris is like a BAMF that like could punch somebody with his chin.
Yeah. Like, but I feel like it's got to be something that doesn't feel like it would make sense, right?
Right.
So when we were going with sitcom star that's a former Marine, I know for a fact that Drew Carey was a Marine.
Oh.
But the 70s, 80s, 90s doesn't make sense because his sitcom was in the 90s and only the 90s. So who would... So then I just started trying to think of sitcom actors whose career would have spanned those 3 decades. And I wrote down John Ritter, but I don't feel like that's right.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the Marines.
I don't think so either.
I keep coming up with 2. Red Fox. I have no idea if he was ever in the military, but I believe he did have sitcoms during those times. And somebody that I know was in the military, but I don't know if it was the Marines. It would be the female version of the Marines, if they had that in World War II. B. Arthur.
Oh.
That's an interesting answer.
I don't know if there was a female auxiliary of the Marine Corps. She may have been in the Army, the WACs.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm out. I can't think of any other. I was thinking John Ritter too, but I'm 90% positive he was never in the military.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. I don't know if he was or not. I just, the only reason I thought John Ritter was because, the Three's Company was the 70s, 80s, and then the rules for dating my teenage daughter or whatever was, late 90s into the early 2000s up until he passed in 2002.
Yeah, he didn't include the aughts in his question.
No.
So if it's if it's John Ritter, he would have included the aughts.
I guess.
I think B. Arthur is a cool answer. So if we don't know, I think we should go with B. Arthur.
I'm okay with that. I feel like that is a really cool answer.
Yeah. But if we can't pull it, then I think that's the one.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Are we all down? All right.
Yeah, I can't come up with anything else. So
we're locking in with B. Arthur.
That's pretty
all
cool.
right.
I like that. Bob Ross was an Air Force drill sergeant.
Okay. All right. So good thing we didn't go with him.
So we went through a lot of names. Ted Danson came up a lot, but I couldn't think of a 70s sitcom that Danson was in. And finally, we settled on a person that we absolutely knew was 70s, 80s, and 90s, and we went with John Ritter. And as you guys were talking, I did start to recall reading something where he was former military. So I'm starting to feel better about it. So we said John Ritter.
Well, you're all in for an awesome surprise.
Uh-oh.
Except maybe Kate. The 70s show is Maude. The 80s, 90s show is The Golden Girls.
God.
It is indeed the ex-Marine B. Arthur.
I had no idea she was a Marine.
Wow. How great is that?
When you answered
That
Jonathan?
Came out
my.
of some
How
place
great
I
is
don't
that?
even.
That's fun. I like that.
I'm so happy.
Normally answers get pulled from Jonathan's hindquarters, but now you're pulling them from his hindquarters.
No, you didn't get them from mine. They weren't in there.
It's a cool painting, too, by the way. Our third question is the story behind the story. The Genovese crime family turned what Greenwich Village dive bar into a gay bar, only to, as the story goes, fall behind on its police payoffs, leading to a cop raid with monumental consequences.
I have no idea, so whatever you say is going to be our answer.
All right. We're locked in.
Stonewall Inn.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know. You can take it.
Yeah. We're going to lock in with Stonewall Inn.
I'd get my card pulled if I didn't know this. Stonewall Inn.
Part is that.
It is definitely the Stonewall Inn.
Nice job.
I wasn't able to completely verify that the crime family fell behind their payoffs, but I like that as a story. So
I left it in there just in case it might be right.
But I did do the trivia writer dodge to say, as the story goes.
True.
Some say.
At the end of the fourth round, the score is 120 to 106. Kate, Lauren, and John have the lead.
We're going to have a little visit from my plush toy Cthulhu.
Oh.
There we are.
Hi, Cthulhu.
Yeah. All right, we go into round 5, starting with states and territories. What country has 6 states and 10 territories, including a legally dubious one in Antarctica, and 2 with no population at all? You'll also get a bonus point for each of the states you can name. So we want a country that has 6 states and 10 territories. There's a legally dubious one in Antarctica and 2 with no people in them at all. And we're also going to give you a bonus point for each of the 6 states you can name.
All right, we're going to lock in.
I think that Australia has 6 states.
I wrote down Australia. I can't name them.
I've got 3. I've got Western Australia, New South Wales, Tasmania, Queensland.
Queensland?
I want to say one of them's northern, but I'm not positive. So,
Well,
I
like...
think I just those 4.
Okay. I'm good with all of that.
I'm good with that, too. Geography is not my strong suit, so I'm going to go with whatever you guys say.
Okay.
It's also one of the. It's also one of the few countries where I can actually name any of their states, so that makes me a little more confident in it.
Yeah. So we're gonna lock in with Australia, and then
Western Australia, New South Wales, Tasmania, and Queensland.
All right. Well, Jonathan said, I think it's Australia. And I was like, oh, cool. I can name a lot of those states. So we said Australia. The states we named were Victoria, New South Wales, Tasmania, Queensland, Western Australia. And then we didn't know the last one, so we just said Northern Australia.
It is Australia. Our states are New South Wales, Queensland, Western Australia, Tasmania, Victoria, and South Australia.
South Australia.
One of the territories is the Northern Territory.
Oh, and it's in the middle of the. It's not an island. It is middle continent, right? Middle north.
Yeah, it's the middle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Darn it! I knew there was directionals.
South Australia. Damn. I knew most of them though.
So
However, you did close the
14
gap
versus
a tiny
15. Yeah, we closed it by 1 point.
Hey, that 1 point could make or break you, man.
At this rate, we're 14 questions away from tying.
We got names the same. What Helsinki Concert Hall shares its name with a Sibelius work that might be performed there, as well as by a vodka brand you might be able to order in the lobby?
Let me just go check my liquor cabinet real quick.
Nothing. Everything should still be there. Lauren's crossing her eyes, though.
Just one.
We're all here.
We're going to lock in.
All I got is Stoli.
That is
Sibelius
what
is
I
not my
wrote
jam.
down. Stoli. I wrote down Stoli. I have no reason for it, but it feels like the vodka that makes sense for all of this.
I was just thinking of vodkas, and I came across like things like Sky, which isn't going to be it.
Me?
Grey Goose, which isn't going to be it. Belvedere, which may, but if you guys both wrote down Stoli, then I'll go with Stoli.
Stoli.
Fine by me. Yeah.
Yes.
To me, you are.
We can still hear. Oh,
Now
no,
You're back. You're back. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're feeling Stoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to
All
give
right,
like
we're
the
gonna
whole
lock-
name of that? Just so that there's no issues with it?
I don't know the whole name of that.
Because that's not the whole name of that. That's a nickname.
Stoli Nietzsche?
I just don't want there to be drama at the end of this if that's the right answer.
Oh, I'll
just out of curiosity, John, is that where your answer is headed, Jonathan?
I'm not going to say yes or no to that.
Okay. All right.
I don't know any more of it.
I don't either.
I mean, we know what
I
they
don't
mean.
even.
I get your
I know,
point.
but if he's saying they're spelled the same, then it has to be the whole name. Otherwise,
this
it won't be
isn't a
right,
spelling
otherwise
quiz.
it won't be a right answer if you don't say the word.
I can say that if Stoli is the correct answer, I will accept Stoli out.
Okay,
out of
that's Quizmaster's choice.
All right. Stoli. Locked in.
Stoli locked in. It's probably not Stoli now that he says that.
That might be. We went with Sky.
It's neither. It's Finlandia.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of the vodka brand Finlandia. I was fighting for Tito's.
John, we played Finlandia in marching band.
Oh my God. You're freaking right.
Sibelius. Well done.
Yeah.
We're going to be serving up some McMaple bacon. I know from earlier in the episode we did the warm-up, Chris, how much you guys are just down with your Canadian geography, and that's where this is going.
Yeah.
What? Inevitably, I have to put a Canadian thing in here or they'll take my card away. What Canadian territorial capital and mining community did composer Robin Beaumont describe as, quote, a city where the gold is paved with streets? I mean, this should be really easy because there's only two, so it's a coin flip, right?
What do you mean there's only two? Read it again?
So there's only two territorial capitals.
Oh, you said territorial
There's
capitals.
There's three territorial capitals.
Yeah, I was about
actually.
to say. So it's a.
Yeah.
I don't have
read,
a three-sided coin, I'm sorry.
Read the whole
Yeah.
question again, please.
Absolutely. What Canadian territorial capital and mining community did composer Robin Beaumont describe as, quote, a city where the gold is paved with streets?
Let's do that.
We're locked in.
Okay, I don't think it's going to be the capital of Nunavut, which is good because I have no idea what that capital would be.
None of it, city.
You're having none of it.
Yeah, I'm having none of it.
There is a joke connected to Nunavut, by the way, is that when they created Nunavut, people said, well, they named it wrong because instead of Nunavut, they got all of it because it's one of the largest subnational units in the world. So,
I
Canadian.
believe the capitals of the other two, Yukon and Northwest Territories, is Yellowknife and Whitehorse. And I would lean towards Whitehorse because I think that's the bigger one population-wise. But
I wrote down Yukon. That's all because I'm thinking Yukon gold. That's like whatever. But
The potato.
yeah. So whichever one of those is the capital of Yukon, let's go with that.
I think it's Whitehorse is the
All right.
capital
Then
of
let's
Yukon.
go with that.
Alrighty.
We're below the Garth Brooks Dixon line on Thunder.
Absolutely.
Yes. But hey, you know what? We haven't been doing too bad. So
No. And
So-
some might say that we're winning. So
So we'll lock in Whitehorse.
Whitehorse.
We went the other way.
Yeah, we had a 50-50 between Whitehorse and Yellowknife, and we went Yellowknife.
All right, so the capital of Nunavut, by the way, is Iqaluit, and it's not Iqaluit. So one of you is
Good.
getting points, and it's Carmela and Jonathan.
Yeah! We went yellow because
We
gold.
went yellow because of gold.
Actually, that's exactly right. That's where the name Yellowknife comes from. It comes from
We
gold.
still have
There
the
is
lead,
white
though.
gold. I mean, to be fair.
Yellow gold.
Yeah.
It's gold in them thar hills. All right.
well.
That takes us to the end of a round.
It does. At the end of round 5, the score is 134 to 131. John, Lauren, and
Whoa.
Kate have a 3-point lead.
3 points. It's a field goal.
It is the oddest of Trivial Warfare scores.
Round 6 begins with Mutant Freaks. In 2008,
John.
I like the sibling back and forth going on here. That's kind of cool. In 2008, Danish researchers traced Frank Sinatra, Taylor Swift, and all other people with what trait to somebody who lived 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, probably near the Black Sea, who had a genetic mutation that switched adenine to guanine in the OCA2 gene. So it's a particular trait. Frank Sinatra, Taylor Swift have it, so do lots of other folks. That means they were all likely descended from somebody who lived near the Black Sea. Genetic mutation switched adenine to guanine in the OCA2 gene. We want the physical trait.
We're going to lock in.
I think it's old Blue Eyes.
Oh,
I like that.
I like that too, John. Very good, because I wrote down widow's peak or connected earlobes.
Yeah.
Like connected to
I
each
think
other
I'm
around
gonna-
the back of the head?
No, you have
No.
connected
You
earlobes.
know how
No, I
it's
don't.
either
Yeah,
like
you do.
hanging
Do I?
loose or connected?
She says I have a connected earlobe.
It
You
looks,
probably
it looked
do.
like
How
From your
rude.
Facebook photos, you have a connected ear.
You've been looking really close at my face, bro.
Hey, man.
You posted.
You
That's
gotta
not an
know-
excuse.
You gotta know your opponents.
Hey, man, is not an excuse.
Hey, man.
Dude, you gotta know your opponents.
That's some in-depth Oppo research right there.
Right.
You've done something horrible. Hey, man. I mean, that's all I got to say.
You should be a consultant for the Patriots.
Right?
Hey, man.
No.
You've been filming other teams. Hey, man. Hey.
We only just got caught. It's fine. No. No. Do we want to lock in with Blue Eyes, or do we want to take what Lauren said?
No, I don't think
I like Blue Eyes.
I like blue eyes.
All
The
right.
Slavic area, I'm pretty sure Blue Eyes came from there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's go Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, I also am a descendant from this person. But we also said blue eyes. We figured with the Frank Sinatra angle.
Carmela and I are distantly related somehow because we both have blue eyes and we are both that mutant freak. It is Blue Eyes.
Yay.
Evil nemeses who are also sitcom dads. James Avery provided the voice of Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's better known as what sitcom character, and the first name is all we need. Lauren is super happy.
You're getting 2
John is
names.
super happy.
It's him.
Yeah.
100% locked in.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. We're locked in.
I have as much thunder as Ricky Skaggs when he's in Kentucky. Yes.
So go ahead and answer, Skaggs.
Uncle Phil, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I also would have liked this question the other way round.
Yeah, because I knew the Shredder bit too.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
We said
John,
we
I'm
said
sorry.
Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
It is Uncle Phil.
Lauren, you were gonna say something.
this was supposed to be a surprise, but I was Amazon impulse shopping, and tomorrow you're gonna get something in the mail from Amazon. It's a cheese shredder with a shredder head on it. It's a shredder.
No way. That's funny. I like
Yeah,
that.
so you're welcome.
I'll make sure I spray it with all of the Lysol spray I have.
And the cheese whiz.
It is Uncle Phil, and I just want to have a shout out to my awesome wife who figured out that I needed more coffee and just brought me another cup of coffee.
Good job.
Aw.
That's awesome. She is the best person in the world to be locked up in the apocalypse with. Number 3, time is moving on. Some geologists say we have changed the world so much we have entered the Anthropocene era and ended what other era?
All right, we're gonna lock in. We might have made it up, but we might have made up a word though.
And by we, he means him.
Yes.
I hope it's a fun word.
but I knew I should have studied my geological eras more.
One of my goals for the apocalypse is I'm going to memorize these friggin' eras because every time it comes up, I never get it right. So I'm going to have these stone cold locked when we reemerge from our caves.
If we get this right and they get this wrong, we will take the lead going into the gauntlet.
I don't know, man.
No pressure.
Oh, that's good for you. You just said you made up a word, so it doesn't really bring
I
much
said we
confidence.
might have.
Oh.
The only era I can think of, and I have no idea if it's the one we're just leaving, is Pleistocene.
That is,
And I don't even know if
better than
that's...
that's better than anything I could come up with. So I'm going to go with whatever you think this is, and I'm not going to be mad either way.
Yeah, we'll go with it. I have no idea. I wrote down Ice Age with a giant question mark. So I'm like...
Okay, so I think it's Pleistocene. And we'll lock in with that.
All right. And then on our side, we said the Cenozoic era.
So the Pleistocene was about from 2 million to 11 million years ago, according to the Wikipedia
So
search
just slightly off.
I did not do just now. And I think what was your answer, Jonathan?
We said the Cenozoic era.
Cenozoic is a word, so that's something. But I think that was even further back.
Come on.
It's actually the...
Can we get Price's Right rules? We're closer without going over?
Well, actually, I'm not that I will give you Price's Right rules, but I'm kind of curious now when the Cenozoic era was.
Now.
Cenozoic era was...
Right now.
It was...
When was the Mesozoic era?
66 million years ago.
Well, it was the end of the dinosaurs.
Hold up. I just did a Wikipedia thing on... I think because I have a vague wording issue, it turns out that Cenozoic is the third and current era of the Phanerozoic eon. So I think...
Beginning 66 million years ago and extending to the present.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think, even though Holocene is what I was looking for, I think I have to accept Cenozoic as well.
Oh.
Boo!
Yeah, actually, it is a wording error. I should have said epoch and not era.
What's funny is the reason we had you repeat the question is we were trying to double check if you wanted period or era or what.
Yeah. No, I should have said epoch, but I didn't say epoch. So Jonathan actually gave us the correct answer.
How about that crap? How about... So I told Carmela, if this is right, it's because I buy like placemats for Sebastian with educational stuff on them, and it would have been from one of those placemats that I picked this up.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I checked. So there we go. So that changes the scores at the last possible second.
At the end of the 6th round, Lauren, John, and Kate have 154. Jonathan and Carmela have 161. It is 161 to 154.
That's thin, man.
It's better than being behind.
The category is Sting.
All right, our wager's locked in.
Our wager is locked in.
So, number 1. At the 1984 Grammys, Michael Jackson was nominated for Song of the Year for Beat It, and again for Billie Jean. He was beaten by what song written by Sting for the Police?
What was the year again?
1984.
Thank you.
You want to lock it in? All right, we're going to lock in.
Lock that in.
Number 2. Who used a sword called Sting to beat back the giant spiders of Mirkwood?
This is it. We're locked in. Don't argue with me.
Locked in.
Number 3. Thanks to its appearance in the 1973 movie The Sting, what 71-year-old Scott Joplin song reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100?
We predicted the topics of the 3 questions. That one. We're locked in.
We are locked in.
At the 1984 Grammys, Michael Jackson was nominated for Song of the Year for Beat It, and again for Billie Jean. He was beaten by what song written by Sting for the Police?
What did you guys say?
Every breath you take.
Every breath you take.
All right. We said don't stand so close to me.
That song works in Today.
That's what I'm going to sing when I wash my hands now. Don't stand.
Question 2.
Who used a sword called Sting to beat back the giant spiders of Mirkwood?
We said Bilbo Baggins.
Because you think it was from The Hobbit.
No.
not
It
Lord
is
of
from
the
The
Rings.
Hobbit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, Mirkwood's
no.
The Hobbit, so
Yeah.
that's why I was like, did you write down
no.
the
See, the dwarves got captured by the spiders, and he was there with Gollum when that happened.
There was a big spider scene in Lord of the Rings, though.
Okay, that's what I was thinking then. Like I said, it's not my strong suit.
So
Well, what did you guys
tell 'em
say?
what we said.
We said Samwise Gamgee.
Potatoes!
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
And number 3, thanks to its appearance in the 1973 movie The Sting, what 71-year-old Scott Joplin song reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100?
We said The Entertainer.
We also said The Entertainer.
All right.
All right, we're going to go through and find out whether we're right or wrong. It's all coming down to this.
So the police song that beat both of those Michael Jackson classics, Every Breath You Take. The sword called Sting, that would be Bilbo Baggins. And number 3, as the band geeks know, it is The Entertainer.
Yep.
Yay!
I love Paul's sense of drama. He's like, let's just get this out of the way with the first of these questions. All right. Well, we both missed a question in there. That means we both got it wrong. It's going to come down to wagers. John, Lauren, and Kate, what did you wager?
We locked in with 8. So I guess that puts us down to 146.
An 8-point wager. Subtract 8. You ended the game with 146. Carmela, what did we wager?
It's a lot more than 8. You actually need to put 140 in front of it.
148. Woo. So the final score is 146 to 13. Your winners are Lauren, John, and Kate.
Whoa! Yes!
Congratulations,
Nice job.
guys.
Good job.
Man, we came back at the end just to get humped. Oh, Every Breath You Take. I hate that song.
Aw.
not a
You're
good-
going to hate it
yeah,
even more now.
It was my contribution to the conversation.
I know. I'm never listening to that song again.
Actually, that has a fairly dark COVID connotation.
You
too,
think?
actually, think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Well-
stalkerish.
It's kinda.
It is
It's
stalkerish.
one-
Yeah, and it was written that way, which is why it's so weird that it pops up at weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is weird. It's a great part of a Weird Al polka, though.
Night
It
Vision
is.
Binoculars by
Every breath
Passenger.
you take.
Hee-hoo, hee-hoo. All right. So, we like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs or promote a cause they care about. Kate, let's start with you.
I just want to shout out all the medical personnel right now, everybody who's holding it down in the hospitals, because they are superheroes right now.
Absolutely.
And they are usually, too.
Darn right. Very cool. Thank you. Paul, your turn.
Normally, I talk about my monthly Smarty Pants quiz, but I want to mention, if you can, to either donate blood, which fewer people are doing for obvious reasons, or donate to your food banks, too, because they're getting much less. Now that we're pillaging the store shelves, they're getting much less. So either of those things would be awesome.
Yep. And John, we'll close it out with you.
Okay, well, I'm going to plug something that my sister and I are actually working on. My sister discovered a book called The Weird Accordion to Al, and so that kind of sparked an idea for us to do a little podcast about that called Beard Al Yankovic, where every time, every episode, we're going to go over a song and then also pair that song with a beer. And so it will be a podcast for Weird Al aficionados or beer aficionados, but mostly both of those.
I love it.
Beard Al.
I need it for new beer.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's exciting. That is going to wrap us up. So for Lauren, for John, for Kate, Paul, and Carmela, my name is Jonathan, and this has been another episode of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit propodcastingservices.com.
This was nice.
Is this the time where the butt rock pops in? The butt rock music?
The butt rock?
Yeah.
You've never heard of butt rock?
No.
Oh, look it up.
Apparently,
butt rock.
that's what
Bands
our
like-
ending music is.
I've looked up butt fruit before.
more the intro music. More the intro music. It's butt rock.
Huh. No, I never heard of that one.
You can't hear my dog, can you?
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Your neighbors can too, and they hate you.
They do.
I see.
Well, it was weird the year before when I was elected because someone nominated me, and I said to the rest of the committee, okay, I have to stay out of this. And when you decide not to put me on the ballot, then I can help with the rest. And they decided to put me on the ballot, which was super weird. So I had to stay out of, recuse myself from everything. I couldn't count the votes.
Huh.
And one of the people up that year was the three women from Quiz Bowl game in the 60s who staged one of the most famous Quiz Bowl games ever. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to have them nominated. So I mentioned it to some people, and it began to occur to me, wait a minute, what if they win and I don't? And the other thing I didn't factor as well is I was going to be on the stage as this was announced. So Michael Rankins, because he counted the votes, did the announcing. And I realized, he announced the other two first, and there was one left. And I thought, oh my God, this is probably not going to be me. And I'm going to have to stand up here and take care of the rest of the thing. So when he said it was me, it was the most massive sense of relief I've ever experienced in my life.
For us, it was definitely a case where the nomination group last year was full of big names.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And so there was no reason for us to assume anything. And that's reality.
Yeah, because Regis Philbin was that year, and Merv Griffin maybe, or was that the year before?
No, it was Ashman and
oh, right.
and the Countess.
Yeah, that's right.
The governess.
And they were tied.
Governess, sorry.
That's right. Yeah, because it turned out
The tie.
it was the tie for third, so they both got in. And I think Regis beat you guys by 2 votes. It was the closest
dare
vote
he?
we ever had. Yeah.
Wow, 2 votes, really, man? Oh, what? Oh, John, did you vote? You could have put us over Regis.
It's done. We got in.
I know, but
Jesus.
still, could you imagine beating Regis at something? Come on. I mean, I might be able to beat him in a foot race now, but that's not the same.
You could probably beat him in a fight.
I don't know.
Your legs are longer.
He's got
a
old
short
man strength.
He's strong old.
Yeah.